We are live.
It's only going to get worse from here, Ghosty. You're fine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Alien Entrapment. Welcome to Ready Play Go, the place where streamers, weirdos, and nerds get together and play TTRPGs. First, thank you very much for everybody that joined us last week for episode 1, and those that have watched the VOD on YouTube and the highlights video. Numbers have actually been really well, and everything looked as if it was a wide success. So it has been a very big amount of appreciation from me for everybody that came along and joined in and watched what we had to put out. As you can see from what we're thinking, we are missing Haba today, but she had a prior commitment that has been planned since 2019. So it was like I was going to be the person that gets in the way of it. Unfortunately, Hab isn't here, but we are joined still by OutermostGhost, Avery Connors, and DoxRyan. Their links are in the main title, so go to their channels, follow them. They'll have their social medias there. Go and follow them on all the platforms. All their links will be in the YouTube videos as well, so you can get all their content everywhere. But yeah, so a bit of a shorter intro because we want to jump right into today's game because we've got quite a lot of world building that we're going to be doing and a lot of fun, and where players are going to actually get to do shit on Roll20. It's going to be fun.
It's aliens. We don't have fun.
I have a lot of fun. I can't wait to destroy everybody's souls. So yeah,
wrong game. That's called Cthulhu.
Right. Before we begin the game, I do want to say that quick disclaimer that the Alien game is intended for 18 and over, both action and horror vibes. The game is intended to play into character fears. This may invoke anxiety. We have ground rules set up that all the players in the game have agreed to, but if anything in the game causes you, the viewers, distress, please do not watch. We understand that the game may not be for everyone, and even though a lot of people want to support the players, in the channel and stuff like that, we appreciate that, but your mental health is much more important than stats on a board. With that, we do want you to get comfy, grab some snacks. This is your last little bit, and we are going to jump into today's episode of Alien Entrapment. Okay, so we are going to start today's episode at the Novgorod spaceport, where now fed Tavin is working a little bit more enthusiastically on their ship, I would imagine, although still slap job, and is currently joined by Joshua, You have made your way. It's the next morning from your meeting with Jack Powell and Waylon Jutani. And you are now just getting kind of prepared, ready to kind of find out what the next step is. You have been told that Powell will arrive at the station or at the spaceport in due time, so you have some time to converse, do what you want to do what you need to do.
Evan will like have a panel open, is like sticking his head inside in his arms, and like just sticks his hand out back. Hey, hand me that fucking the laser thing. I don't remember what it's fucking called.
Just grab the flashlight and hand it to him. That thing.
He'll bring his arm back, look at it, very slowly turn around. This is a flashlight.
Oh, look, I'm a doctor, not a mechanic. If you said hand you a scalpel or a forceps, I could do that. A laser thing, I don't know what that means.
It's a fucking thing that produces lasers, man.
Yeah, no, I got the concept. I just don't know what the tool looks like outside of
He'll
you.
go over
but
to his toolbox and grab the correct tool and go back to working on the ship.
I'll go back to drinking my Coke.
Okay, Tavin, when you've walked to your tool set, you do see at the corner of your eye that the young port hand that you kind of had a conversation with last or the day before is sort of kind of around. They're trying not to look as if they are like they're not trying to get your attention, but you do notice that they are like it's that typical kind of fan that wants to approach but doesn't want to bother them, and with the words of his dad ringing in his ears, he's kind of just hovering. But they are kind of just paying attention, and you do get the kind of you from the conversation before as well. You do get that kind of thing that they just have an interest and they want to learn and that kind of stuff. But being on a space station, education doesn't come as easily. You tend to just learn what your parents or whoever is your guardian kind of thing, your figure in your life that kind of what they are willing to kind of teach you. But they are just kind of hovering, and the rest of the spaceport is kind of in the usual kind of hustle and bustle. Ships come in, ships go out. There's a lot of vehicles going about, getting stuff into ships that are ready to go, emptying ships that have came in. Joshua at that as well. Hold on. I'm gonna get you to give me a roll if I remember what roll I want you to roll. Da, da, da. What one would it be? Give me an observation roll.
Observation. Okay,
Observation.
okay. Standard observation?
Yeah, just standard.
Okay. Nada.
Nada. Okay, so you notice none.
No success, no panic.
No. But yeah, Tavin, you get back to your ship and you start doing your work. Joshua, you are sitting drinking your Coke, and at that moment, Andrea, you and Jack Powell arrive on the scene. You've had a bit of a small talk, but you know, the corporate types, they're not about small talk and what the weather's like. It's either silence or actual business talk. But you
Oh
do
no, it would
arrive.
be actual business if anything.
Sorry, what was that?
If I talked to him, it would be about business.
Yeah. So yeah, as you are approaching, he is just kind of explaining to you about Carrigan, because oh, the, they're aware that you will be their kind of communication link. You'll be the kind of middle person, and a lot of things kind of going like you're the trusted person on scene. So Jack Powell will kind of just be saying to you is that yeah, so what we need for you to do is just keep these ones in check. Colonial Marshal Mackenzie isn't going to be along in this one. They have decided to go off base to try and go above us in this assignment. I don't quite think they're particularly interested in coming along, but
Understood.
hopefully we can get everybody on board though, because I don't have to tell anybody just how important having lawful representation can be on these kind of investigations.
She'll come around, don't worry.
I really do hope that you're right.
Oh, I'll make it happen.
We
That's
very
not
much know we
honest.
can count on you. And with that, Tavin and Joshua, you are joined now by Paul and Andrea, to get the
Hey,
next
Tavin, the
steps
scoots
going.
are here.
Oh, fucking great. He'll step out and close the panel that he was working on.
Jack will kind of fix his suit, put his briefcase down that he always seems to have, never without. So, how did you all sleep? Hopefully, these are all ready for to start.
Well, are we missing someone?
Oh yes, Colonial Marshal Mackenzie. She has gone off base. She was not particularly happy that we have attained her services.
She'll
And
be joining us next time. Don't worry.
yes, we have every reason to believe that she will be back. Once you are back, because I have a small job for you to kind of see it as a test flight. Just see what your wits are like. Nothing major, just a small recon and cargo grab, I would say, is the term for you pilots.
So a milk run.
Evan will very obviously scoff at what he just said, but continue to listen.
Yes. There we have gotten a little bit of information that we would prefer you guys to go out and do. There is a space station not particularly far from here. It's just out at GL259. It's the Arceon Station. You may have Tavin, you will have done a few jobs kind of, because this was like your typical kind of mining kind of go between. So you have been to the Arceon Station. So you have a rough idea.
Don't know how long that trip would take.
Well, in the world of Alien, which I have discovered, things are fucking far. So trying to find something. So you will know that this is one of the closer star systems to your current location, and the typical the time is usually around 44 days, kind of to get out there. But with your skills and what you've kind of added to Martha, and just the little bits that you know yourself, you could probably get that down to about 35 days.
Eh.
So yes, we have a couple of things that has been left out there, but we also have been notified that someone there has secondhand information on what has occurred. They are not planned to be there for a long time, so we really need you to get out there quick and see if you can track them down. They are ex-marine that has, we don't think will pose much of a threat, but we have been notified that they are currently AWOL from their group, as people say. So you are your job is to go out. There's some cargo that we have waiting for us that we would like you to bring back to us. And we would also like you to speak to Private Carvalho. We will send a little data link to you with some information on them, and their kind of last known locations from what our observers have told us. But yeah, if you can do this for us, everything goes swimmingly. I don't see there being much of a problem going forward with the big job that we need you to do. But yeah, is there anything that you will need for the journey out here?
You have a manifest for the cargo needed? Is this an official pickup, or is this a under the table pickup?
There'll be a manifesto, but it'll be at their end. They'll give you the kind of rundown. We're not particularly entirely sure what it is that they're wanting brought back, but we'll make sure that you got all the paperwork that you need.
Right. And they already paid us money before, right?
Yes, they have given everybody 5,000 credits to kind of get your normal things. With the travel time and stuff like that, I will say that think it's around it's like two, it might be 5 credits per meal kind of thing over like a day worth of meals. So what I would just put it down to is it's about 100 credits worth of food for a return journey to there. So other than that, you'll have say 4,900 credits to get whatever you think you might need for this kind of recon mission and cargo run.
I don't need
So-
anything on my end.
Let me get this straight, Jack. You want us to go fly out, pick up some cargo, talk to an AWOL private, and then hightail it back to Novgorod.
Well, I mean, you don't really have to hightail it, but everything else is pretty much on point. The cargo that you will be bringing back is of utmost importance. It is, as far as I know, it's of a scientific factor, and some of our scientists on board Novgorod and our further out stations are quite interested in what information they've found from it. So it is quite an important cargo to bring. On Carvalho, as I said, we do not believe they are of any danger. They have went AWOL, but it's from their superior of officers that we know their whereabouts. If it was in such a bad standing, they would have went and got them themselves. So I do believe that it's more just information that we require from them. If they are unwilling, don't push. But if you can get something out, I'm sure we can make it worth your while.
All right. Well, it's your ship, Tav. You call the ball.
He'll like do mental calculations in his head on fuel and food and is it a far enough travel for cryo to be necessary? Because that lessens food and fuel because the air scrubbers don't have to be run. Would for a 30-day trip, would it be normal to run cryo sleep?
It's one of those ones that it could be used. I think it's more of a kind of self-preference. There's some people that are willing to go prolonged amount of time without needing it, but there's other people that just know the kind of financial benefits of anything over a few days to a couple of weeks is just get out there and get back kind of thing. So it's very much a personal
mentally
preference.
turn off cryo deck. No, it's not worth it for that distance. Yeah, he would have enough food because he's been running solo. He would have enough food in the galley and everything and enough fuel, so we're good to go whenever.
Okay. Jack will turn to Andrea. What and do you need anything specific? Anything that we can have brought here?
She stepped away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if she's back yet.
All right, no, that's no problem. Well, if when she comes back, if there's anything that she needs, we can go back or just assume that it was thinged. But yes, well, if there's nothing really else to go, we will get a data link sent across to you with all the information needed and bid you a safe travel, I guess.
Sure thing, Jack.
And with
Tavin will not respond and just turn around and get in the ship.
fair enough. With that, I'll kind of turn and start walking back to the main building. He'll go into his personal communication and just start getting information across. Tavin, you will receive on your ship data board or computer information of the star system where the Arceon Station is, and you'll also receive a rundown of Private First Class Carvalho. There's not a lot on it because, again, it's Marines. You're not going to get deep information, but you will be given the information that their full name is Isaac Carvalho, age 26. A couple of the things that they have is that their family owns a small cattle ranching and meat packing company out at Terraform 3. That's kind of the basic rundown that you get. Again, there's not that much information, but it wasn't anything more than what you were expecting from Weyland-Yutani.
And useless information. Got it.
Pretty much.
I'll also forward the information to Joshua as well, so he has all the information.
Yeah. So, Joshua, you have...
Ghost is back.
Yep, you have the information. Andrea will have already been given or sent that from Weyland-Yutani themselves.
Yeah.
The kind of information on Isaac Carvalho. And yeah, if there's nothing... Andrea, is there anything that you would require for a, say, almost 80-day...
80-day.
Yes.
Okay.
So
It was a little more than I initially. Oh, right. No, that would
There
make
and
sense.
back. There and back.
Yeah, I only count. Well, yeah, I think I would have probably done that
yeah.
before, right?
Yeah, you would have been kind of given, like, you would have probably met up with Powell after you'd been told the general kind of time scale.
Okay.
Because again, you would have been to this station at some point. It's not a major, like, you don't know much about it. It's just one of those places that you may have been at one point.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing calculations and that's difficult. Okay, I probably would have gotten what I needed before I got to the ship.
Yeah. No, that's cool. If
Does that make
there's
sense?
anything that you needed, if it's anything that we've kind of...
That we've talked about before?
Yeah, same with everybody. If there's anything kind of like your food wise or anything like that that we've kind of talked about how much and stuff, anything that you need, you would have been able to get it. You know Novgorod enough that you can get the things here.
Okay.
So
Yeah, then I will. Then yeah, we're good.
okay. So with that, Andrea, you are invited upon Tavin's love and joy of Martha for the first time.
And if you pay attention to Tavin, you notice he kind of stands up a bit straighter, isn't as slouched and timid when he's in the ship.
Yeah. Wow, this is really amazing.
It's also a large ship with no one else in it.
You
There's
run
no
this all by
crew that you
yourself?
would expect. Yep.
Oh, that must be stressful.
Incredibly. It's a 10-man ship.
Do you never run crews?
Very rarely. It's too expensive.
Oh, I understand. You know, we have some wonderful packages if you would like to do some more work for us. We can fund a crew if necessary.
Hatred flashes across his face for a second. No.
Understand. Very well then.
If Doc hadn't asked me to take part in this job, I'd have told you and Jack to shove it up your ass.
What?
Joshua just over here sipping his Coke, watching it all play out.
I'm not usually frontline with acquisitions, so I suppose that's a risk we take.
So what do you do, Andrea, if you ain't frontline acquisition?
At the
Uh,
moment, I am working on this job,
That doesn't answer the question.
but it does. It's what I do right now.
Okay.
Tavin will go up to the pilot's area and begin like pre-flight checks, radioing into tower, however they do it on a space station to get permission to launch and, announce where he's going, stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna go stow my gear.
Yeah, all that kind of information starts kind of coming across. You're on call to the main tower. The normal kind of spaceport jargon that you're also used to, that it's almost a mumble to anyone else that hears it. And with that, you're given clearance to begin your ascent. Everything is clear out the way for you, and you can take off to the stars above.
You will.
So with that, you take off to just outside your orbit of the Novgorod. It's not that far. For you, Tavin, it's a normal occurrence. It's what you see every time you come out this way. So it's not even a major change. For Joshua and Andrea, as much as you have done space travel, it's been a couple of months at least since you have left Novgorod, really. So the sheer size and amazement of what space and just its sheer size is always mind-blowing. And that's just from the life of someone that doesn't necessarily travel all too far. Tavin, you get everything put into place, you get the numbers put in. Martha is all but ready to take you on your course. With that, what I am going to do is try and figure out how I get this to look on Roll20, because I do have your ship on Roll20 so that you can all see.
We have a ship.
I don't think that's what I want to do.
I'll close my character sheet so I can see it better.
Shit, that's not what I wanted. I don't really know how to get all you guys here though. I want to bring you to this ship because it's cool.
While you do that, I'll
Technical difficulty.
after getting the ship going, after like setting all the coordinates and everything, making sure they got clear path, that nothing should go wrong. Tavin will like kind of tap or pat the console, say, "All right, Martha, it's yours," and he'll get up, go find Andrea, and all right, let me show you to your quarters real quick, and he'll lead her to just random quarters that he finds.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Doc, he already knows where to sleep. He's been in this shit multiple times, so he knows where to go.
So what jobs do you usually do, Tavin?
Salvaging and delivery runs for the most part. This is a salvage ship. Stay out of the captain's area and the pilot's area, please.
Understood. I have never
Besides
flown a
that,
ship, so
you have the run of the ship. Please don't touch random buttons.
I would never.
We do have a vehicle hangar bay with an aero or a gyro car in there. You can look at it. Don't touch it.
I assume
You
that the only thing I'm allowed to touch are in the common areas and in these quarters.
pretty much, yeah. There's a galley. It's stocked with food. It's not good food, but it is food.
Doesn't have to be good to feed us.
Good attitude. And if there's an emergency, look for the yellow button with the red triangle on it. They're all over the ship.
Now to resist the urge to press the button.
Push the red button.
That is not a thing I would say in character. Just myself as me. I will have to resist the urge to press the button.
I am sure you'll be fine. Right, so I do believe I have taken you to the ship.
Yes.
So
Where I'm seeing the ship.
I should be able to switch over to this one, and everybody can then also see the cool ship. So yes,
Nice.
you are within. This is the crew quarters of your ship. So you do have a decent amount of space to kind of go. So as you are kind of getting situated, Tavin, you have gone back to the flight deck of the ship. The flight deck are... I just want to make sure. So the galley and stuff like that. With the likes of the bridge, are you against having your passengers within the bridge, or are you okay with them being...
It's not that it's locked. He just told Andrea she's not allowed up there.
Right.
But he knows Doc, so Doc can basically go wherever he wants on the ship.
Nope,
He's known him for long enough and trusts him not to fuck it. But he's not like locking it where she can't get up there if need be. He just said,
yeah,
don't go there.
No, that's totally fine. So yes,
Do not go in the West Wing.
I'll go everywhere and I'll touch all the things. I won't change anything, but I'll touch them and you'll know.
That seems like a very me thing to do, actually. So yes, Tavin, you head to the bridge, start putting in the coordinates to the ship to get to Arceon, and you begin your journey. So with that, what we
Say, before we do that, I'm gonna go into my like sleeping area.
Yep.
Which is kind of basically just a storage closet that he stuck a bed in. Near the bridge. And I will grab a cheap bottle of whiskey and 2 shot glasses.
Okay.
I will go to where Doc is staying. And this is something Tavin's done every time, so Doc would expect it for a new job. He'll go over to his room, knock on the door, Hey Doc,
Yeah.
he'll open the door, hand Doc a shot glass, pour 2 shots without really saying anything, and then just say, "To a new job," and then take a shot, and then go back, and that's it. He doesn't like explain anything. It's just something he does.
Oh, very fair, very fair. So yeah, you make it back to the.
It's fucking cheap whiskey. It's that cheap shit.
Why do you think I made a face?
Almost need to make you roll for that, Doc. See if you can handle that taste. So yeah.
That stuff that strips paint.
Oh, so that okay. So the
Oh,
cheapest
Andrew
of the
whiskey.
cheap.
The cheapest of the cheap.
Nope, fair enough, fair enough.
Serpentine.
So yeah, you head back to the bridge. You give Martha the information that's needed. Martha begins the somewhat long journey out, and Andrea, you have been given kind of. It's not the most glamorous of crew quarters, but
Well, if we're looking at this picture, and maybe I'm misunderstanding, are they basically just 2 kind of barracks type?
yeah, almost like that, with it being big enough for 10.
Right. So it would be a situation of like one would be the male, one would be the female, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But
Yeah.
ever since Tavin took over the ship and has been alone, it's very much not been that. You can tell that at one point in time it may have had that kind of functionality, but now it's been more just whoever's been on the ship has slept wherever they want. But Joshua has, with being a much more kind of usual passenger of the ship, he has his own, this is where I sleep, this is my
Obviously.
domain kind of thing, and you are kind of in the next one, but
Whichever one is
yeah,
whichever one is not that. Yeah.
you've been given your own privacy,
Fair enough.
but you are only separated by one small hallway, so
Yeah.
you've not
No,
been
this
banished to the outer shells of the ship.
Well, I imagine this is kind of. I've been in a sleeping situation like this before, so
Yeah,
it's not unusual. Like it's not what I'm now used to, but it isn't like the worst thing ever.
yeah, it has some resemblance of home feel.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel cold and barren. It just feels like it's not been used all that much. But
Damn it! I didn't bring any posters to put on the walls. Should have done that. Next time, you know what? Next time we stop in a place, I'm gonna find a poster.
your Tavin will love that. So yes, you do begin your journey out. As I said,
I'm going to take my medicine before I go back to talk to any of them.
yep, no, that's cool. Yeah, everything kind of sets off. Martha is more than capable to take you on this journey almost without any input at all. So you have your next you are able to get the journey time down. It should take 44 days, but with everything going your way right now, the journey time is looking that it's going to be more closer to 40 days. So it's a much better time. But you do begin your journey of 40 days out to the Arceon Station, and now it's just a case of filling all those long, quiet nights as you traverse space. Switch back to this one.
Oh man, now we can get out all the pirated movies. Have great movie nights, you know.
Say for the most part, Tavin would stick by himself and just not be like wandering the ship or anything. He'll like, you know, and
Yeah.
when it's lunchtime, he goes and eats at the galley, but then he just goes back to the captain's quarters and or the flight deck, and he's not like out talking with everyone.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, Andrea will mostly keep to herself, but if either of them wants to talk, she's totally down for it.
Yeah, well, it will be one of those ones where just through that kind of common grounds, the galley is where you will tend to have your kind of meals. I'm pretty sure the galley is on this one.
Yep.
That'll kind of show a little bit more of what you're doing. So you'll have like your kitchen area and stuff like that you'll probably tend to at least have meals kind of there because that is where the food, but again, it's down to if Tavin allows you to eat in your rooms or anything like that, or
He doesn't care.
like
He doesn't care.
don't want crumbs everywhere because that's how you get space ants.
That's how you get space ants. You want space ants?
I will say, like, the second night, Tavin's gonna like call Joshua to come to the flight deck.
I don't know.
Yep.
Andrea gives me a weird fucking vibe, man.
Like what?
Like the way she very much avoided saying what she did.
That's suit stuff. They never say what they're doing.
You're fucking happy.
Yeah. She does strike me as a little odd for a corporate agent. All this like, hi, Carrigan, how are you? Did you get my care package? Like, come on, who does that?
So just, just wanted to say, like, when we get there, obviously, I'll follow your lead on the ground because I don't know what the fuck we're doing here, man.
And this is your cargo run. I'm just gonna go meet with the private.
That's what I was talking about. Like,
All right.
out of the ship, I'm just gonna follow you, man.
Don't you think it's kind of funny that there are two corporates on this job? You got Jack, and then they brought in Andrea. Like, Andrea, like, what is she, our babysitter?
Kind of what I'm feeling like, yeah.
They're
I'm
like, oh,
guessing they're fucking with something they know they shouldn't, and they're afraid that if we find it and tell people about it, yada yada yada,
yeah, of course. Give us a bunch of no information and stick us with a babysitter. But here's how they twisted the script, right? They sent us this sweet, like, hi, I'm Andrea. Like, the little, like, like, the cheerleader suit. Who sends a cheerleader suit to do this so-called, like, top secret thing that destroyed a space station? Like, they wouldn't send like a cheerleader. Come on now. They could have, if they wanted to find out information about what happened to that space station, they could have sent adjusters. They could have tasked the team to go take it out. Why us? And then they're gonna make us do this audition. Come on.
I think she's more than she's letting on. I think
Duh.
she's like fucking Black Ops or something, man.
Maybe. I don't get the Black Ops vibe though.
You know them a lot better than me, that's for damn sure.
Used to. But I don't know. I was planning on talk to her a little bit into the trip once the boredom and monotony sets in. See if I can't figure some things out.
Good luck.
I mean, I'm a doctor. I got great bedside manner.
Sure. Whatever you say.
Look, just because I don't give you bedside manner doesn't mean I don't give everybody bedside manner.
He'll sigh again and just, all right, talk to you later, Doc.
All right. I'm gonna go back to my bunk. Call me if you need me.
Yep. You go back to reading just some like really worn down book.
Before I walk out, be like, hey, you might want to get something other than smut to read.
He just flips off, Doc. Doesn't even turn around.
I'm heading back to my bunk.
Andrea, is there anything that you would wish to do before the evening is or your day is and we begin our travel?
I mean, if I have some way to access look, I don't know much about this world, I admit. Like email or whatever
Oh
stuff.
yeah, you'll have a personal comm that allows you in a
Yeah.
data link that will be able to see anything and everything that you
I'll do whatever paperwork I have to. Maybe make a cup of tea
Fair enough.
and then watch whatever trashy shit that I feel like were bad.
I think at this point it is starting to get back to like your 60s and 70s TV shows are making a comeback.
Yeah.
Because they were some of the first things that data links were set up by, and it's the only thing that will look the way it was supposed to on such small resolution. As much technology has came by, still not great.
That's fine.
So
At least we're not in the boring dystopia.
yeah, or at least not yet. That could quickly happen as you go on in your 40-day journey. Well, with that, Avery, I will require you to make a pilot roll, and we'll see.
And I just click on the piloting.
Yeah, you just click on piloting, and we'll see just how easy your first day is
And
going to
then
go.
no dice to add or subtract, right?
Modifier.
No.
Meh.
Okay, that's a really good roll. So
Damn, son.
your first shift of the journey goes by absolutely swimmingly. It's very obvious that the slight maintenance that you have done on Martha has made her run that much more cleaner. It's probably one of the best you've actually felt Martha run in a good while. And I will say, I think we'll make it's like each shift is how we roll with like space travel and stuff like that. So we'll do each shift is like a 5-day period. Just so that we can get through space travel that little bit quicker, because otherwise we'll just be sitting for the next 2 hours rolling to see what happens in your travel. But yeah, so your first kind of 5 days goes by as perfectly as you can. There's just clean space out in front of you, no issues whatsoever. you have been getting kind of little updates from Weyland-Yutani over the last couple of days. There've not really been anything. Once you've had one, you've seen them all, but it's been generally just little updates on Carvalho's whereabouts and anything else that they have observed as you've kind of gone on. Andrea, you do receive an email of sorts by someone that doesn't work kind of alongside you at Weyland-Yutani, but it's someone that you have done business before and you have pretty good standing. They have a lot of information and knowledge of the kind of outer planetary systems, and just from your own due diligence, you've reached out to them to kind of get a little bit more information from where you're going and whatnot, just so that you have a better idea. Because having worked with Weyland-Yutani and the lack of information that they give you, you have found your own little workarounds to make sure that you are best prepared, and that's one of the reasons why you have very quickly ascended within the company, and you have garnered a lot more trust within the higher ups, because you always seem to be able to outdo their expectations, and it's just because you know how to work the system. But the email that you get isn't particularly uplifting. The email basically says that the Arceon Station is currently under a lot of watchful eyes because of something that they have done or uncovered. They don't go into much more detail on that because they've, unlike Weyland-Yutani, this person just physically does not have that information. It's not that they're holding the information, but you do get a heads up that there's been a lot more people coming in and out of the station, and it's not just been from Weyland-Yutani. There has been other groups, other factions that have been coming in with a little bit more oomph and a little bit more demand from what's going on.
Okay.
But other than that, it's not a great. There has been a lot more armament rolling into Arceon than before, so it doesn't feel too much like a scientific research facility anymore, or a mining town. It has the bad vibes of something has gone on, and it makes you kind of question why Weyland-Yutani would be sending you three out if they have this information.
Okay. And how far out are we from the station at this point?
You've travelled your 5 days, so you're still about 35.
25 days. Though.
Yeah.
35 days. Okay, okay. Fair enough.
They have said they'll keep updated with stuff as you go.
Mm-hmm.
They'll keep on giving you information as they come across it.
Good.
Yeah, is there
But,
anything you want to do before we?
Yeah, so at the end of the 5 days, I'm gonna knock on Andrea's dorm and kind of pop my head in.
Hello.
Hey, we're not doing cryo this trip, so I gotta do you a exam. get all your vitals, bathe through them, whatnot.
Fair.
So, Ghosty, what you see when Joshua walks in is he's wearing looks like work boots, brown cargo pants, a black long sleeve t-shirt. You would notice that the watch on his left wrist, the face is on the inside of his wrist, not the outside. And you would
Okay.
notice just the hint of like a bead, sort of bead chain necklace, but it's up under it's a long sleeve like workout shirt, so it fits kind of tight.
Yeah.
And it's very like plain and utilitarian the way he's dressed.
Okay.
So and he's got the medic bag with him. He sits down and goes, "All right, I just gotta get the base vitals. You know, we're not doing cryo this run, so we got to make sure that you're in good health and all that, so that we can track any bloodborne electrolyte fluctuations and stuff. You know, medical stuff."
Yeah. Understood.
I'll bust out
To
the stethoscope
to
and some stuff.
return the favor, Andrea has been, since you guys took off, mostly more of a casual thing. Similarly, it was very like kind of more like cargo pants, tank top. Still wears sunglasses. Has not taken those off.
Interesting. So I'm gonna go about the exam. So let's see. Let's go over your base. Get all the vitals down. Get all the basic like stuff you would need for long form space travel. Make sure that all the stuff's within range. So you've had any illnesses or anything that we need to know about recently that could move through the air scrubbers?
No. Healthy as can be.
Nice. Cool. That shouldn't take too long. Just start to go through the exam. Can I make an observation check?
Well, observation. What are you looking to see?
Distinguishing marks, anything? Why? What? Like, just kind of get an idea, like, if there's anything. Especially, like, she says she's wearing sunglasses, so I just want to see if I want to notice anything.
Okay, yeah, roll a observation. Okay,
One success.
One success. So, Andrea, is there any noticeable markings or anything like that that you would notice?
I mean, I'm trying to think.
Any scars or odd markings or anything?
I mean, she has a couple scars here and there, but nothing super unusual. No tattoos.
Okay. Cool. I'll finish up and I'll like start putting my stuff away after I write down all the stuff I need and be like, so I'm gonna be out here for a while.
Yeah.
What's your story?
Oh, just you're regular. I don't. Can you be more specific?
You're out here on the fringe working for you Wayland Utani, and you get assigned to work with a medic and a space trucker essentially to run a cargo op that is essentially an audition for a
Yeah.
bigger op to go find out a bunch of stuff of something that happened to a station amorphously that we don't know what happened, but yet we're supposed to figure it out. When the company could have easily sent investigating teams to go figure it out. Either you piss somebody off and they gave you the shit job, or there's more to you.
Oh, well, I mean, I assume they did something like this for cost-saving measures. I, you know, I can't pretend to know my boss's reasons for doing things. I mean, I do know I do know the marshal fairly well, so perhaps I was sent on this so that she could feel more comfortable.
So you know Carrigan, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me about her.
She is very dedicated to her job, and she believes strongly in the principles of justice and righteousness, as one should to hold such an important position on a space station.
So that's the DVD back cover of Carrigan. Tell me what you know.
One does not disclose one's friend's secret.
Yeah, but in the bar you said you worked together. You've
Yeah.
been sending her care packages.
Well, I used to be a marshal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why'd you quit?
Somebody paid better and offered some benefits I wasn't getting.
Yeah, like the ability to screw the everyman over and make him do dirty work off the books.
So the company makes everything work. The air you breathe, the things we fly on. Whether or not you want to benefit the company, you are benefiting the company.
Trust me, I know.
This is not something intended to, at least from my position, to screw anyone else over. I simply am doing what I can to make whatever difference I may in my lifetime.
So what do you know about the job that Paul's not telling us?
I know about the job. I know what you know.
Because I really don't know nothing.
Yeah?
Paul was stumbling over his words like, "Oh, there's a thing that happened, and you got to go find a thing." And then we're supposed to take Jack at his word that we're just supposed to go look around and figure some stuff out, and
I
with
know
no
Jack
leads,
can be kind of slimy.
kinda.
He look, he even has a sheen to his skin. I can't. I tell him to shower daily. And I think he only showers once every other day. But that aside, that aside, he's sharing with us what he can.
I'm asking you what he can share. I'm asking you what you can share.
I have not been given any extra information at this time relevant to our mission. What's your story?
Fine.
What's your
Same
story?
old, same old hard luck story. Grew up on a backwater planet. Dysfunctional family. Joined the military. Did my bit. Got out. Ended up at
Yeah.
the end of the. Ended up on the outer fringe in a backwater spaceport, stitching bar brawls and treating STDs.
Ooh. What you imagined you'd do, or did you have grander ideas?
Well, let's see. My idea was to get out of the home because dad was a hardworking man and mom kind of took care of the town. Just didn't like my lot in life. Figured I'd sign up, do my bit, and use the money and set myself up, and you know, shit happens. You end up in a backwater station at the fringe.
Shit happens.
And now I'm working for Wayland Utani, doing some mission to go find this thing.
But it'll
Getting
set you
paid
up.
getting paid $1 million cred. Jack didn't say it was universal, which that's a little disheartening.
We'll see what
Corporate
we can do.
cred. Yeah. What do you think it's having?
What do I think of it? Oh well, he seems fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's your corporate assessment of a disheveled, scrawny, kind of slightly off space
We're
junkie.
all kind of slightly off, and you know it.
Oh no, me, I'm 100% stable as cucumber. I'm like a rock. Look at that hand, doesn't do nothing.
Everyone has slight tremors.
There ain't no tremor there. That's clean. I don't know what you're talking about.
What, you take something to get that steady?
No, just sort of comes natural.
So I told you about Carrigan. What can you tell me about Tavin?
Like I said, most of the time it looks like a drowned rat looking for a piece of cheese. It's a hell of a pilot. Pretty quiet too.
Well, I mean, we can allocate more to food if he wants better food.
Kind of partial to the ramen noodles cup of soup thing. I don't know what it is. Every time we go out to eat, he's like, "What's the cheapest thing on the menu?" And I'm like, "I didn't ask you what the cheapest was. I asked you like, you want a burger?"
Well, he ate a bit at Billy's, so he must have an appetite.
Yeah, he's a good dude though. Little out there. Don't get him talking about conspiracy theories though. You'll be talking to him
Oh,
all
but
night
that's
long.
one of my favorite things to talk about. I would love to hear some conspiracy theories.
Yeah, just ask him one time. Just randomly be like, "So, what about the just random nonsense and see what happens."
Random nonsense? No, there has to be some basis to it. There's always at least a grain of truth.
Yeah, true. That's true. But it's interesting that two corporate suits are working this angle. You got Jack, and then there's you.
It is an existential threat to humanity.
How so?
Well, you were given. I was given the same information as you. And if I'm going to believe it, which, why shouldn't I? I'm going to go off of what we have. If this is actually a weapon or an entity or something that can destroy more of us. As a species, the desire is to continue, isn't it? It's part of why we left Earth, to expand, to continue.
Yeah, makes sense. There's a lot of desires in the species: to eat, reduce, survive, like you said.
Yeah, sometimes I think it would be better to be a single cell amoeba, but I think they die off faster than we do.
Depends on where you're at. I mean, we might live longer than some of us.
Being a human is a pain, but a lot of people enjoy it, so I see no reason why not to continue to serve the greater good of all humanity.
You, okay, that's something that I didn't expect to come out of a suit's mouth.
I'm not
Serve the
currently
greater
wearing a
good.
suit, am I?
True. But you still work for the company. So when you say something like, "It's all for the greater good of the company," profit is as profit does.
Ah, that's profit, though. You know, we started as a very altruistic company.
All companies do.
Yeah. Eventually, a company becomes so large that it's impossible to know what another department's doing, let alone, the whole thing. So
You
you
get a
can only
point.
do what you can do.
Yeah, but you're odd. You're all friendly and happy-go-lucky. Never met a suit that's like you. So you can see
Okay.
why I want to get to know you a little better.
It takes every kind of a person. Not every suit has to be slimy. Not every person working for the company has to, mustache twirl evil. Some of us actually want to do well for the world, for the human race, I guess.
That's fair. Well, your vitals look good. Your test came back clean, so I guess I'll talk to you later.
Have a wonderful day, Doctor.
Medic, but thanks. Just walk out.
Very well.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, you walk out. Andrea, you are left kind of sitting in your barracks, just kind of thinking about that whole interaction that has gone on, trying to make sense of it. If you can give me an observation roll.
Okay. Give me one. Observation is, and then I go submit.
Damn.
Nicely. So, Joshua, your answers without detail, was that the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, from that conversation, you get that Joshua was being open, weren't hiding, which is quite a refreshing feeling from having to deal with the usual people that you do, because on a
Thank goodness
corporate
no
level,
office politics here.
yes, it's very much that you are very far below that level of misinformation and distrust, that the act of someone actually being truthful to you has that sort of, again, a refreshing feeling where it brings you a strange comfort towards Joshua. Joshua, if you were to do the same.
Sure. Observation. I did it.
Zero successes.
Nothing.
Eh,
Straight up.
you don't care. You never noticed anything. You didn't consider whether or not it was being truthful or not. So you're just kind of getting on about your day. What I will say is, if you can also give me a medical aid roll. This isn't
Okay.
really about the medical aid that you need. One
success.
successes. Andrea, would there have been anything out of the ordinary that would have came up on a basic vitals level? Nothing too, like, he didn't go into that much. It was more kind of like if you would have had
No,
like
it's just like arrhythmia,
yeah,
tachycardia,
kind of like your
any
heart rate,
crackling in the
stuff like
lungs.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look one thing up.
Yeah, a basic vital for space travel would be heart rate, respiration. Didn't draw any blood. Obviously, he was just doing vital. So any like crackling in the lungs that could lead to anything, especially if we experience 0G.
Mhm.
Just basic like that.
Nothing with the lungs, but yeah, the heart beats a little fast.
So there's a little murmur in it, or a little arrhythmia.
Just a little fast.
Okay. I'll make a note of that.
Very well. Is there anything that any of you would wish to do before we move on to the next kind of shift of space travel?
Good for a while.
Okay. So, Tavin, if you want to give me another piloting roll.
You got it. 2 successes.
2 successes.
Wow, you killing the piloting game.
Yeah.
You did not lie when you said he was a good pilot.
You know.
So yeah, you are once again without any issue whatsoever. The next 5 days goes through swimmingly. It's almost Tavin, you do kind of get that little sense where
It's a little
Almost
too
good.
quiet.
Yeah.
It's too good.
yeah, like
He's
normally by this
waiting
point,
for the shoe to drop at some point.
Yeah.
Something's gonna go wrong.
yeah, like you've not even like came in any like close contact with anybody, anything that would have came across radio chatter and all that kind of stuff. Normally it is a quiet existence, but occasionally you will get the kind of passing chatter of like another ship, because obviously communication systems go for quite a while for like mayday systems and stuff. But even on that scale, there has been nothing, and it is getting a little bit kind of strange. So after those 5 days, we do kind of thing. What I will say is, with the travel, would you want to continue the kind of 5-day shifts, or do you want to speed it up and kind of extend that just for your own personal enjoyment of the game?
I think we should speed it up for brevity's sake and just kind of like, oh, on this day, I'd like to talk to this person or something like that, you
I
know?
agree with that.
Nope, that's
I'm good with that.
totally fine. So
You know, maybe a check every 10 days
Yeah.
instead, because that would be 4 checks for a 40-day trip.
yeah, no, that's
Travel montage.
That's
Yeah.
totally fine. We'll just on that, we'll kind of alter it up and say that you've now got to the kind of 20-day mark as opposed to the 10-day mark. And
Math.
so with 20 days left to go, everything seems quite quiet. Andrea,
I would
Yeah.
like to add that, like, anytime y'all see Tavin, he's not just wearing a flight suit, he's wearing a suit that, if you know anything, you would know can survive in 0 atmosphere situations. Like, you never see him not wearing it.
That don't bode well.
Are you worried are you worried that the ship's gonna break apart?
No, I love space, I love flying, I love being in the ship, but I hate going out in space. That
But if we're not gonna go... Oh, I understand now. Never mind. Stupid question retracted.
Also, I do sometimes actually have to go outside the ship to make basic repairs. If, like, you know, a piece of debris hits the ship and bends a piece of metal or something, someone's got to go out there and bend it back.
Yeah. See, this is why you need to invest in a crew.
That Wayland Yutani will sell you for the low price of X amount of dollars.
Hey, I'm not sales. I'm not sales.
I'll say, Andrea, I don't like Wayland.
Yeah,
Stop trying to advertise Wayland in any way to me, please.
I didn't
That was
You
me.
did the first day.
the first day, but had not since then. You don't have to get a crew through us.
Tavin just walks away.
Fair enough. Andrea.
Lean over to Andrea and be like, something's in his exhaust manifold.
That's fine. Look, I get it. Nobody likes the company.
I mean, you do have a shitty track record.
But the pay's good.
Money ain't everything.
And if you can survive long enough to collect the pension, that's really nice.
Fair.
The surviving part, though, I mean, it's just space, you know?
So, a couple weeks ago, you mentioned you used to be a marshal, Andrea.
Yeah.
Where at?
Oh, don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Classified?
I'd have to check and see if I'm allowed to divulge that information.
That's fair. We all got our secrets.
Well, you know how it is. Like,
No, I don't.
well, sometimes you have to sign things that say you can or cannot divulge certain information.
True. It's called HIPAA.
Non-disclosure here, but same difference.
So, when we ran your vitals last week or a couple weeks ago, your heart rate came back a little high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you, any substance abuse problems?
No?
Any heart conditions, arrhythmia, anything else? Because if we have to do EVA or there's a decompression in the hull, I don't want to worry about any medical issues that I have to deal with on top of getting
No,
everything out of the ship.
you know how it is. Just nervous around appointments.
That's fine. It just came across the results when I was reviewing them. I did Tav's checkup. He's a little underweight, but he's fine.
It's a new environment, going out into space again after a while. It just happens.
No worries. It was an anomaly. I figured I'd ask. If you need me, I'll be in my bunk.
Have a good day.
Go walk up to the flight deck, poke my head in. Hey, stick jockey.
What do you want?
No offense, but why are you such a dick lately?
I'm not used to running with people. You know
Okay,
that?
I know that. But
I'm
like,
used to
damn.
spending months by myself.
Okay, all by myself. I get it. When you were like, I don't like the company. Fuck off. Don't talk to me. Like, I get it. Trust me, I get it. But like, bedside manner kind of goes a long way, especially if like we don't know whose side she's on.
The last time I interacted with the company, I was left floating in space alone.
That's fair, and your trauma's valid. I get that. Trust me, I do. But you ever heard the phrase "catch more flies with honey"?
Man, all I'm trying to catch is my paycheck.
Well, I'm not trying to catch a corporate double cross. So, like, if you could turn on a little like roguish spacer charm that I noticed you were using on the bartender a couple weeks back when we were at the bar, Might make our job on finding out a little more about Andrea a little easier and finding out what she's not telling us.
Okay, my mic wasn't picking up. All right, fine. I will cool down on my dislike for her and her business.
Oh no, you can hate the business all you want, but like I'm saying, like we need to know like if we can trust her. We
All
can't,
right.
obviously. Obviously we can't. But we need to know if she's gonna like, end up doing that. Hey, thanks for doing business. Now go to the stock market if you catch my drift.
I got you, Doc. I got you. Oh, I'll try my best.
All I'm asking. Dude, why were you acting so weird when Carrigan was in the bar last week too? Like you got real like stiff, like your butthole puckered.
Do you know anything about her?
The fucking the marshal?
Yeah,
No, I know that she's a hard ass.
she is. She's the type of hard ass that would have thrown me in jail years ago for the shit I pulled.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. From what I know, that's fair. But like, dude, the way she walks, you like she's a hard ass. Make diamonds out of coal, hard ass.
Man, I have spent years staying out of the marshal's radar. You know how hard that is to do as a smuggler?
Well, if you weren't smuggling, you wouldn't have to stay out of the radar. See how that works?
If I weren't smuggling, I'd be out of a ship and probably homeless.
I mean, but you're a good looking
I'd
dude.
be
Like, I'm
one of
sure you
those
could
guys you see at the
crash out.
bottom of I'd be one of those guys you see at the bottom of the station who haven't eaten in weeks.
Aren't you at the bottom of the station, haven't eaten in weeks regularly? Or is that just your aesthetic?
I gotta set an image.
What, drowned space rat?
No one looks secondly at a drowned space rat. That's part of staying out of the marshal's radar.
Actually, you're kind of smart. I like that. I like how you. That's big
I've
brain
been
move.
doing this
That's
for
big
a
brain move.
long time, man. I've been on my own for a long time.
Yeah. And then you
And
end up
I
in
have never
Novigrad.
been caught. As far as I know, I'm not even a suspected individual by the marshals. They don't know anything about me. And
I
now I'm
mean,
working with the head marshal.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to talk because, like that, like what a turn of events for you, huh? Doing everything you can to fly under the radar, and then the radar goes, "No, I want him."
Yeah. So sorry if it takes me a minute to catch up with my situation.
I ain't gotta apologize to me. I'm just saying, like, we need to kind of work Andrea as much as she's gonna work us, and we
Keep
can't
that
do
in mind.
that. We can't do that if the handsomely disheveled roguish pilot is a dick. Because my bedside manner only goes so far.
Tavin will stand there for a second, kind of straighten his back, give a kind of shit-eating, cocky grin, like he's putting on a performance, and say, "All right, Doc, I'll do the best I can."
There's a good lad. I'll just walk out laughing.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that you would wish to do in this third shift?
Good for now.
Well, you kept starting to say something towards me, but I don't know what.
Yes, I messaged you.
Oh, okay. I pay attention now.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
no, you're
I was
good.
laughing.
No, you're all good. You're all good. But yeah, if you read that and let me know. Oh, what I will say just in that, Tavin, can you give me an observation, like from you personally?
You got it. All right.
Okay.
0 successes.
You don't notice anything. That's fine. That's fine. Everything's just going
Right.
as regular.
Oh, do I have any more responses from my other connections?
At this time, no.
Okay.
You haven't received anything in since that first one, which
How close are we to the station? Do I know?
I'd imagine
Right.
that between you all, you have been kind of like Tavin will have been keeping a kind
The
of
ship will maintain a light and dark setting to maintain like a day-night cycle, where it's like the
Okay.
lights will dim down after 12 hours, so it kind of simulates nighttime. So it's easy to
Okay.
keep track of how long it's been in Earth Standard Time.
yeah, and
Okay.
in the kind of like the galley and stuff like that, there will be monitors that will have the kind of like flight plan where it will kind of have an update of to your destination kind of thing.
Estimated time of arrival.
Less as a kind of passenger thing, but more just of everybody on the crew from the past life of the ship would have needed to know that kind of thing so that they could start getting themselves ready and other things ready and stuff. But it's
Right.
just never ever been switched off.
So how close are we?
You are currently
Way.
yeah,
We're
you're
20 days into roughly a 40-day travel.
yeah, you're
Okay.
about halfway towards it. You're literally at that middle of absolute nowhere.
Okay. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
But if there's nothing else, we can roll for the next shift to take us to 10 days.
Hey.
We'll do another piloting. Another 2 successes. Again,
You are using
good at-
all your
not-
successes up too
Not good
early.
at anything else. All I do is pilot.
So now we're about like a third
10
of the
days
way there, and the next.
We're like 3/4.
yeah.
We're
Yeah, we're
3/4 of the
3/4.
way.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant, but my brain did not say that. So the next check will be kind of like the final check and the docking stuff and all of that.
Yes.
Correct. Do I have any more information?
Yes, you do receive an email from your contact that in the last couple of days there has been a major movement of people leaving the station, a lot more than normal. It from their standpoint and their background that you have a slight idea in is that this seems very, very militarized. Like
Okay.
the people that are being removed are not. They look like they're just everyday people that either live on the station or work on the station and stuff like that. It feels as if like this is a kind of small to medium scale evacuation of this station.
Okay, I would like to inform. Well, since I can't go into the flight deck, well, I can, but I'm respecting Tavin's space. I'm going to see if I can find Joshua.
What I will
Make
say
an observation
is
check.
there is in the galley there will be a kind of ship comm unit that you would be able to use that would time me
Oh.
through the entire ship that would have been getting used over the last week with any kind of updates that Tavin would have been kind of given out if he remembers that he does have other people on the ship.
I'll say it's very sporadic.
Yeah.
It'll be like one day he'll give an announcement, and then like 3 days later he'll give an announcement, and then the next day he gives an announcement. It's really random on when he does it.
Look, I understand with the amount of times that I've screwed you guys over and Lethal Company by forgetting that you are also playing. I 100% understand.
Yeah, pretty much the exact same. So, but there is a kind of a comm unit that you can use that's usually to kind of just be like there's different little points. Like there would be one in the galley, there'd be one on the bridge, there would be one down in the hangar and stuff like that, just so that there is always the ability to have communication. So you would be able to go and find that and kind of call out for Joshua or Tavin to kind of meet with them.
And I think I would call for both of them and state that I have received further information regarding
Very well.
our mission, I guess is what I would use.
So yeah, Tavin, Joshua, while yous are doing whatever yous are doing, there is a kind of intercom call from Andrea, saying that she would very much like to meet with yous somewhere to discuss information that she's received from just someone
in
she
the
knows.
galley area.
Yeah.
Tavin will head to the galley.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back there as well.
Yep. So he's meet in the galley.
So I have received some information that there appears to be a change in management of the station we're going to. It appears there is a very militaristic bent to the new managers, and there's a small to medium evacuation going on for the majority of the civilian inhabitants. I do not know what this change is for any of you, but I figured it would be best if we could speak openly about the upcoming changes to our strategy.
Well, I don't have any military history, so I'm just a civilian.
Is it going to impact us getting the cargo?
Well, a lot of the workers in various sectors. Sorry, my brain's not working. Various sectors are being evacuated. Do
Does
I
it
know
say
whether this
why?
will affect our getting of cargoes?
You wouldn't know if it would be a major impact. I will say that in the correspondence that you got, they didn't really specify that the spaceport kind of the cargo area was the people that were being removed were more of the kind of scientists side of things than that kind of thing. So there will be there is still a presence within the cargo areas, but it's more that there's just a large, not even a large, there's just a military existence within.
Okay. So it shouldn't stop us from getting the necessary cargo. However, we may run into unexpected issues.
Gonna make it harder to talk to Cavallo.
Could be.
Do you know if the flight area, flight towers, anything like that has been changed?
Not as far as I have been notified,
Okay,
but
because you really want permission to land on a space station before you
yes,
try and do it.
correct, especially with the military presence. I'm not sure what they are doing there, but
I will say when we get there, Doc, if you wouldn't mind coming up to the flight deck, since you know the military, and just in case.
Do we know which military is taking charge, Andrea?
which one? I assume my
No, there's no information of
Okay.
which kind of settlement or group are doing it. It's just military.
They
Right.
do not know.
What I will say though, just as a kind of what you would have deducted from it, is that the specific marine that, or the AWOL marine that you were supposed to be going to speak to, is part of, is it the USCSS, which is kind of like the people that kind of run the likes of, like, say, like your colonial marines and stuff like that. That's like your general, like, Americas sort of thing. So you could, just through typical deduction, you could imagine that maybe they have came in to find their AWOL marine. But other than that,
Say
there
it's
isn't any like solid information on who is actually there.
say it's the US CMC.
CMC, yes, those them.
Well, as far as I can tell, this really doesn't change anything right now until we get on
I
the
just
ground.
wanted to keep you
But it's good
both
to know.
apprised.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Potentially colonial marines. Interesting.
Um,
All right. Well, when we get there, we'll see what we run into.
We'll
Alright.
say at some other day than that happening, Tavin will go look for Andrea.
Okay. I mean, she's in her quarters most of the time.
Yeah.
yeah,
And he's very clearly trying to not be a space rat. Like he's standing
no!
up straighter, trying to not be how he normally is.
Oh no.
I just wanted to apologize.
For what?
For being rude.
I'm used to it.
That's beside the point. I have no reason to be rude to you. I obviously do not like Wayland, and I was pushing all of that hatred onto you as an individual. And guessing on your age, you were barely out of school when my hatred started, so I shouldn't have done that.
Wow. I very much appreciate that. I hope that we can both work towards a wonderful solution to this mission we're on, and that you'll at least not have a bad impression of me once we're done.
So
I
too.
can't hope for a good impression of the company. That's gone. I'm aware of that.
That's very much long
Very
gone.
gone.
Yeah, when you get left in space to slowly suffocate and die,
Mm.
you tend to stop liking a group.
Yeah, what happened with that?
He'll like just sit on a random bed near hers and well, oh god, this was what, 12, 13 years ago, something like that. I was 17, 16, somewhere in there. Uh and I got a job working for Wayland on a ship.
Mm.
It was just a cargo ship. We just delivered shit. And I was barely there for 2, 3 months as just a random grunt, I just, you know, did menial labor. I cleaned the ship. I, cleaned the
Yeah.
cabins. If, a piece of metal got bent and all they needed was someone to go outside the ship and hit it with a hammer, I was that guy. And I was doing that one time and I was tethered to the ship and ye old pirates attacked.
Oh.
They fired a missile at the ship. I don't know if it even actually hit the ship, but it did break the tether. Uh, Thankfully, my suit had communication, so I was trying to like let them know that my tether broke and that I was drifting away. And you know what I was told?
No, I
The
don't.
cargo was more important,
Oh.
and they left.
Yeah.
They left. The pirates followed, and
Oh.
I drifted. I don't know how long I actually drifted, but I got lucky. I got really lucky. And the crew of this ship found me, actually.
Oh.
Back when it was crewed by other people. They found me. A lot of people like to say your chances of being found in space are really low, but then they forget that travel lanes are a thing in space.
Yeah, as long
Most
as you're
cargo
standing in the
ships,
travel lane.
yeah, most ships tend to follow the same routes because it's a known safe route. We were on a known safe route and I got lucky. It's still a really low chance, probably like 1% or less, but hey, I got lucky. And that was back when the ship was called the Kronos. And they
Oh.
found me and they let me join since I had experience and yeah.
Very kind of them. Yeah, no, I can't even assume that it was a higher up's decision. Oh, geez, that's very rough. I'm sorry you went through that.
I don't know whose decision it was, and I've made it a point to never work with or for Wayland since.
Yeah.
But the money's good, and Joshua asked for the help.
Well, if I can get it universal cuts, then you will be set up for the rest of your life, hopefully. I'll
He
see what I
he
can do.
he like looks at her for a second, kind of piteously. It's like it's very expensive to run a ship. It's like
You
it
don't have to
won't.
run a ship if you don't want to.
I can't do anything else. Well, I'm glad we cleared the air, and again, I'm sorry for the way I acted at the beginning.
Well, I hope that we can both have a wonderful time in the future. You have been a great pilot, and I can see why everyone that I've heard speak of you has spoken wonderfully of your skills.
Thanks. And Tavin will get up and leave.
Okay. Was deep. As you kind of head out, can I have all three of you roll observations?
One success.
success.
Never. I will never roll a single observation. One success. Three whole brain cells together.
So yeah, so that was 3 successes. Okay.
What are we going to say?
Joshua,
Stove.
while you are in the galley, you're just having something to eat, timing, you notice that, and once you've kind of made this realization, you start to realize that you've noticed over a few, like the last week or so, that your food rations seem to be dwindling a lot quicker than what was initially there. Like, and you start to kind of do the calculations and realize that you may or may not even have enough food rations to get you the entire distance at this point, even though you were there when Tavin stocked everything up for 3-person crew.
Do we have space ants? Are the space ants eating our food? Yeah.
Tavin, as you are leaving Andrea's quarters, with the acute soundscape of your ship and knowing every little sound and everything that just goes on, you do notice a new sound, one that isn't usually there.
What does it sound like? Can I tell what it sounds like?
It's space ants.
Um
Man, I only got one success, so
yeah, it's nothing of a mechanical nature. This sounds almost as if something's moving within the ship. And
okay, so this is when I was right outside of her quarters that she's staying in.
yeah, just as you have left, and Andrea, I will say that once Tavin has left, you do get a kind of sense of being in this ship for the last couple of weeks. You've noticed the sounds of people walking up and down corridors and stuff like that, but you do notice a sound that doesn't sound as if it's giving off that similar noise of going through corridors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I will go across the hall to where Joshua's staying. Are you in there?
No, I'm in the galley.
Oh yeah, you're in the galley. Okay. I don't like someone being on my ship who I don't know. So I'm gonna go back to the flight deck. And would this ship have like a system that could see if there's movement on it? Like a security system?
I don't think so. Hold on, I'll just double check if you do have
See, have the AI, the air scrubbers, cargo bay, cryo deck, docking umbilical, EEV, galley, and hangar. I don't have any security systems.
What I will
You don't have
say
any internal skills.
is give me a heavy machinery skill. check.
Heavy machinery skill. Okay.
Oh.
Not
Nope.
No, there's nothing on the ship, and there's nothing that you can kind of ascertain that would give you that kind of information. All you have going right now is the sound of something that isn't a regular sound.
Right. I'll use the comm system to call everyone on the ship to the flight deck.
I get to go to the flight deck.
Yet to go to the flight deck.
Yay! No, I will not celebrate, but I will follow. I will go to the flight deck.
make my way up there half eating the turkey sandwich.
Once they get to the flight deck, I'll say, I think we have a stowaway.
The stowaway?
Makes sense. We've been losing food faster than we should have.
We have?
Yeah, I was making a sandwich and I noticed I'm out of bread.
I haven't been eating that much to try and mitigate the loss.
Well, I think we need to search the ship, because if there's a stowaway,
Yeah, that's a problem.
yeah. And you see Tavin reach like kind of underneath the console and grab his gun, a pistol he has underneath the console, because
Got it.
I'll say, I don't know who's on this ship, and I'm not losing this ship, so I'm not gonna shoot first, but I'm gonna take this with me. And he'll like kind of stick it in the belt underneath his flight suit because he doesn't have a holster for it.
Very well.
And
All right.
Okay. Let's get to looking.
Yep. I'm gonna search the lower deck.
yeah, Tavin will be like, all right, because this ship has 3 decks, right?
As far as I know, it has 5.
Okay.
Dumb question. Wouldn't it be best if we all search together so that if there is a person or something that could cause injury or that needs restraint, that we can all be there to mitigate it together?
I can agree with that, yeah. Also, less
Sure.
chance of missing it, whatever it is.
Okay.
I guess we'll start at the deck we're at and like go down or go up, whichever one it would be.
Deck by
I
deck.
think it would go up. Yeah, we're on deck E, which is where the bridge is. So
Yeah, deck
yeah,
E
we'll start on.
is pretty sure would be their. Would that be the top one?
Depends on the layout of the ship.
No, it's the bottom.
Yeah,
the
that
bridge
is
is on
the
the bottom
one. Yeah,
because that's where the hangar is as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the bottom.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll start. We'll just go room by room. Tavin knows every inch of the ship. Go room by room, searching the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to know if there's a specific role that I will need for searching.
I would assume observation.
Yeah, just defaults to observation.
Yeah. Right. No, that's okay then. So yeah. On your decky, give me observation, all 3 of you.
Okay.
Does Tavin get a bonus because he knows the ship better?
Question.
I would say yes. I would say at this point you probably will give you like an extra 2 dice
2?
with just
Alright.
knowing the ship.
Uh-huh. It's 1 success.
Okay.
I got one too.
So collectively,
Andrew got 2.
yeah. Well, I'll just do it as a kind of collective with a score. So yeah, as you kind of go through Decky, there isn't much out of place. You're not really hearing any noise or anything like that on this kind of thing. You kind of go through the hangar. Nothing seems out of place from what you can remember. Everything seems to have been put where you yourself, Tavin, had kind of put it. But on Decky, everything seems pretty straightforward and normal.
We'll move up to the next deck, but while Tavin's... When we do, can I try and lock down where you can't go down to deck E after that?
Yeah, you'd be able to put in a kind of each door system. You'd be able to
Yeah.
kind of put in a kind of security lockdown.
Yeah. He'll do that so that, you know, if they miss someone, they can't go down to a deck they've already searched.
Yeah, the way it kind of works is, see, if you look just below the galley to the right, there's a little set of ladders. There's a door that kind of blocks each kind of layer, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So, we'll do the same again on deck D if you want to all give observation.
One's across the board.
One across the board.
Success-wise.
So as you are kind of thinking about this one, in the galley, you do notice now, after Joshua had pointed out, that the food rations do seem depleted. It doesn't add up to what you guys would have been eating. And you do kind of hear some sounds, but they're not coming from this deck. You do get it that they're coming from above you, and it doesn't feel as if it's in the corridors.
Like in the vent?
In some way, it's more just that it's behind, like it's within the ship.
Okay. Again, if it sounded like it was on the deck above, we'll go up to the next deck. He'll do the locking thing again.
Very well.
Is it easy to get, like... So we're on deck C.
Mhm.
I think he's just gonna stand there and listen for a bit. Just try and see if it sounds like it's on this deck.
Yep. Right, give me an observation.
This would just be a straight observation since it's just listening.
Yes.
Right. Okay. 1 success.
1 success. As you kind of take a minute to just try and listen to the ship, the regular normal mechanical sounds sort of begin to just fade out as you kind of push them to your peripherals. Nothing seems to come through within, but after about 2-3 minutes of just quietly listening, you hear what sounds like something being dropped above. Not directly above, but it's definitely not. It's to the top of the top of the ship.
Tam will say, "All right, I think it's even above us. It's not on this deck. I heard it."
Okay.
We'll go up, and again, he's still locking all the doors.
Yep.
Just because. So we'll go up
Makes
to
sense.
deck B.
Deck B, as you make it up, this is where the very, very top almost of the cargo bay kind of overlooks. Tavin, you know that within this area there's nowhere that there's just no spaces in this, but this is almost like just like a floating space to look down into the cargo bay and stuff like that. There's really not that much. But with just your prior successes as a group, this is where you do start noticing little things. Because none of you have had to come up here, there's no reason that you would start to see just certain things, be it some plastic wrapping from a food source or just something, and it just everything around you, just with your sense, Tavin, is pointing that it must be the very top.
Right? Tavin's gonna say, "It's got to be up here," and I guess we'll go about searching this deck.
Lock it down.
So as you make it to the very top, this is where the likes of your air scrubbers and your EEV and stuff like that is. Give me one last observation, all three of you.
Okay. Okay, success.
Okay.
I had 2 successes.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah. So luckily, with this being a smaller area of the ship, there is a lot more stuff out of place. Not necessarily like rubbish or anything like that, but Tavin, you with your kind of sensory acuity to the ship start to hear a kind of a much more louder kind of rumbling and shifting and moving as you make it to that top deck, coming from the kind of EEV area at the south of the ship.
It's gonna be that kid, isn't it? It's gonna be that kid.
Gonna start making his way over there.
Hopefully.
Making his way that way. That's what I'm hoping it's that fucking kid and not something else.
What else could it be?
Yeah,
Space
You're the only
ants?
one with a gun.
Yeah.
Space ants.
So you start making your way into the EEV room. Are you closing the door behind at the stairwell, or
Yes.
okay?
He'll close the door behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've managed to time it into this vicinity. As you start making your way around the EV, you notice that the main door into your EV vehicle isn't all the way closed.
Evan is gonna pull out the gun, but he's gonna make sure the safety is on. And slowly make his way towards it, saying, If anyone's in there, I would recommend you step out now. Yeah, he's gonna do that.
At that, as you finish that, you do hear the sound of almost panicked breathing from within the EEV. Not much movement at this point, but it is very, very much there is something within. This is what you have been hearing.
I can hear you breathing. Get out now. And he'll, even though he's still got the safety on, he will very, very audibly pull the slide back on the pistol. So it's very loud and obvious what he does.
Okay. Hold on. Bum, 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 bum.
Then the space ants come out from everywhere and attack us all.
Dun, dun.
Space ants!
Okay. With the sound of your weapon kind of being audibly loaded and ready to go, you do hear the very faintest "Oh, okay, I'm coming." And as the door slowly creaks open, there you find the young port hand Jamie, and behind what you can assume is the misplaced food that are empty wrappers and stuff like that he has been taking to keep himself sustained on this travel.
Evan will put the gun back into his belt with the most disappointed look on his face as he can manage. Really, kid?
He'll kind of he'll be able to sense the kind of disappointment within the room. Like he's seen that look from his dad many a time. Yeah.
Hey, at least it's nothing too dangerous.
And he'll kind of just like he'll kind of bring himself out of the EEV and kind of stand at the bottom of the steps, kind of facing all of you, and he'll kind of just give a whimpered response of, "I just wanted to see what it was like."
You thought it would be a good idea to stow away on my ship.
Well, you did say that it's a could be a good thing to learn about this on the right ship, and it felt like this could be the right ship to learn.
Tavin just begins like doing that knuckles into the temple thing,
Just
like he feels a migraine coming on.
Hey,
So
kid.
so
Maybe next time. Right. Next time you ask the person first before getting on the ship.
Well, I kind of thought that it was he was implying that this would be the
I
safest.
specifically said you should follow in your father and work at the docks.
Yeah, you did say that, but you did also say that opportunities could come along, and
you read that as me saying, stow away on my ship and steal my food.
well, the I didn't mean to steal the food. It was just after I didn't know how long we were going to be out, and after the first day I had run out of what I had brought, and I didn't think you would mind too much, and I was trying to not take too much of it.
Let me say, you're very lucky we found you when we did, because at the rate you were eating this food and the rest of us were eating the food, we wouldn't have enough. That's why you don't stow away on ships. You're lucky. I'm nice and I know your father. I know multiple ship crews that would just throw you in space for this.
We can resupply at the.
Well, we were gonna have to resupply anyway. I'm saying we almost don't have enough food to get there.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. Now that I know, I can adjust.
We can adjust.
And I have my own personal store of food. So we'll be fine. But Jesus fucking Christ, kid.
You do get the sense that he is taking on board what, like, he knows he's fucked up, and he'll kind of with a kind of slump in his demeanor of knowing that this really wasn't the best thing to do. He'll kind of, after a couple of seconds of just thinking everything over, he'll kind of just look up at you, and with the innocence that's still in his eyes of not having much life experience, he'll kind of just look at you and tremble out of, you're not going to tell my dad, are you?
Tavin begins laughing at this point. Yes, I'm gonna tell your dad. What the fuck do you mean?
Well,
I gotta get you back now.
I'm really sorry.
You're gonna have to fucking work while you're here at least.
Hey,
I
we
don't
got an extra
mean in.
crewmates.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna do anything enjoyable, that's for fucking sure.
I, okay, I can work. I can do what you need to do. I'm just I just wanted to see what it was like.
Long and boring.
Ask the ship captain if you can do this.
Always ask.
I I I I will I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I didn't mean to upset anyone.
What you're gonna do while you're here is you're gonna clean. Because this ship needs it. And you have to earn passage now. So you're gonna clean the entire ship.
It's with that the panicked sort of demeanor turns into sheer and utter disappointment, where it really wasn't what he was expecting to be able to be doing on a ship, but he doesn't say anything to combat it because he is very well aware that he has fucked up.
You'll also be sleeping in the crew quarters and not in my EEV.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That I can work with that. It's in there's not that nice anymore.
What do you mean? And he's gonna go look inside.
Oh no. Can I also look inside?
When you look inside, it's just a mess of empty food cartons and things, and there is two very distinct buckets that are no longer going to be of use of buckets to you.
Okay. Okay. Are you aware that we have bathrooms on this ship? We have multiple bathrooms on this ship.
I didn't want to make
We're
too much
not all.
noise.
Man, we do sleep. What the fuck, kid? Jesus Christ. Okay, first job is we're gonna go shoot this shit out of a fucking airlock. Yeah. First things first. Kid, grab your fucking bucket, you idiot. Tavin's not touching that shit. Literally.
For the sake of brevity,
Yeah.
we will say that he does get rid of anything within the EEV that wasn't there in the first place. That is the first point of call for his punishment.
I'll have him sleep in the same room as Joshua. And I'll whisper to Joshua, how's this for bedside manners? You're on babysitting duty.
Oh.
And
Docs, can you
I
quickly
will
do a roll for
very
me? I am going to go with an empathy roll.
Okay. Nothing, straight up.
Okay. Okay. And I am going to roll.
Oh no.
I'll say I whispered about the babysitting duty so the kid couldn't hear that.
Okay. I will say, Joshua, you have zero sympathy and care for this child being in your room, but I don't know if my roll is whispered or anything like that, but of a D20, I rolled a 17.
Yeah, it was whispered, so we couldn't see it.
Okay, so I rolled 17 out of a D20. So for the next 10 days, every night, even though you do not care, it is question after question after question after question.
Yes, that's what I was hoping for.
And it's questions about the ship, about Tavin, about space travel. It's up to you whether you would give him actual answers or anything like that. With an empathy roll of 0 successes, I doubt truthfulness is where it's timing, but that is your existence for the next 10 days of travel.
Tavin will also. Oh. Say again, Docs.
You sound like you're underwater.
Yeah, your mic is like way screwed up.
That better?
A
little bit?
Yeah, it's a little bit, still a little muffled.
Okay.
There you go.
I think
There you go.
yeah,
It's good.
Discord went robot on me.
Yeah.
I'm debating on spiking his drink with sedatives every night.
Hey,
You're in space.
if you need muscle relaxants, I got you.
Tavin
got
will
you.
also stop eating in the galley and will start eating just his ramen noodles that he keeps in his sleeping area so that he makes sure we have enough food to get there.
Do you, you said that you don't eat in the galley. Do you still go to the galley to eat, or?
He'll go to the galley to eat. He just won't eat any of the food that's in the galley because he put nicer food than what he's used to eating
Okay.
because he has other people on the ship.
Yeah.
But it's not like super expensive nice food, but it's better than
Yeah.
ramen noodles every day.
Yeah. Well, I will say that kind of over the rest of the journey, you are able to actually out of the three of you, like, I'll let you kind of discuss it. Who would be best to have a survival role? But I can actually
Let me
look
look.
at.
I don't think I have a very good survival, but what you guys?
I got one in it.
I got one, and then 5 in wit.
I have 4 wits and 0 survival.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would probably say, Andrea, you've probably got the best chance.
What?
So if you give me a survival roll.
I got a success.
Okay.
Nice.
You are able to not necessarily take control, but you are able to kind of come up with a system where you will make it to the destination without running out of food with an extra mouth feed, thanks to Tavin having his own kind of food source.
Quote unquote food.
Yeah. That's why I said food source. You are able to kind of push out the final
Protein
days.
drinks. Here you go.
It's that meat that you're not sure if it's actually meat or if it's just like synthesized bug meat made into patties.
I mean, look, all I'm saying is if we give him like some Pedialyte or some Ensure or something like that, like he'll be fine. It's got it's a meal replacement. Got everything he needs.
Is there anything anyone else would like to do or say before we do our final leg of the journey?
I'm good.
Okay.
I mean, unless I got some more stuff from my peoples.
Not in this this first one or this particular one. You haven't received anything. The only thing that you would have received is a message from Jack Powell asking for a kind of update, how long you would how long you think it would take you to get out and stuff like that. Just a generic kind of update kind of message.
Yeah.
But other than that, nothing
I'll
of
construct a reply and send it to you.
okay, no problem. But yeah, with that, Tavin, if you'd want to give the last piloting roll.
Aye. One success.
One success. Okay. Um.
We've had no real like big
Yeah.
failures,
No,
have
you
we?
have been doing really, really well. With this, the journey goes not on this part of the journey. You do feel as if like there is a little bit more. You've at least passed one other cargo ship that is on this kind of travel lane as you're then taking your kind of almost your exit from the fucking travel lane to the star system that you're going to. So there is a little bit more noise and chatter kind of thing. Andrea, you
Mm-hmm.
do receive a new message from your contact
Okay.
stating that the military presence is now non-existent
Okay. I'll
and
update them.
other ships had arrived and a stronger evacuation had taken place, and it now looks like there's a very limited group of people within the station, and something does not feel right.
Okay. I will forward this information on to Tavin and Joshua.
Okay. You meet at you go to the galley and you kind of discuss and give the information.
I'll say, for anything like this, I would call them to the bridge because I don't want Jamie
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
overhear
okay.
anything.
Yeah. This would, I assume, not be in the presence of the child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I just want to say, because we've been calling him a kid, he's like 17 or something. I
Yeah.
just want to
That's
establish
still a
that.
kid,
Like,
though.
yeah, it's still a kid to all of us. I just want to establish for the stream.
Yeah, he's not
not an
13.
actual child.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
17, kind of 16, 17. He's just started kind of real life gaining and learning. So,
Just
No,
wanted to
he's
establish
literally
that
in
because we
diapers.
called
We
him
have
nothing
to.
but kid. So I wanted to make sure
Yeah.
everyone knew.
no, that's fair.
But yeah, I'll call them to the bridge because I don't want him to be able to overhear what we talk about.
Okay. Yeah, you all get to the bridge to kind of discuss what's kind of been said and anything that you wish to kind of talk about in lieu of the mission.
So there's
Oh.
almost no one on the station now.
Almost no one on the station. They seem to feel like there's something not right.
Do they think we shouldn't land? Because that sounds.
That would be up to our discretion. We do still need to secure the cargo and see if we can find.
Cavallo.
Yeah.
I would say we should worry about the cargo first because it sounded like that was the priority.
There is a possibility that our secondary objective has left the station.
Oh, wouldn't surprise me if it was that were there.
I also think we should probably take a day to orbit the station, and try to hail anyone on it before trying to land.
We definitely need to hail first. I agree.
And that's why I think we should take a day to orbit it because while communications have very large ranges, when you're communicating on a space station, stuff gets in the way. And if there's only a few people, maybe someone's got a radio and they're on the bottom of the station, and I can't reach them from the landing pad, but I could reach them if I'm near there.
Agreed.
Right.
And then when we land, I'll follow y'all's lead. Doc,
Yep.
did you bring your extra equipment?
Yeah.
Say again, you're starting to sound underwater again.
Sorry, Discord's being stupid.
All right, you're clear now.
Yeah, but I don't think we're.
All right.
So with that, you do get to the orbit of the station. At first glance, nothing seems majorly wrong apart from the kind of lack of movement, I would say. Everything seems very quiet and eerily quiet, I would say. So you do your first day of kind of orbiting. Tavin, if you want to give an observation.
One
Okay.
success.
While you are orbiting, you this is when you do notice that it is a very, very lack of movement within the kind of the hangar and the spaceport. Having been here a few times, normally there is it's not quite like Novgorod or any of the big massive space stations, but there's at least still space hands and stuff like that or port hands and stuff that are doing general things. There's usually at least 2 ships within, but here there's just nothing.
Do I ever get a response while trying to hail anyone on the space station?
The only responses that you get are just static. There's no real responses, but it doesn't feel as if these responses are actually being put out. It's more as if you're just getting into radio waves and
Automated
just
radio thing?
pardon.
Automated signals or
Not even automated signals. It's just normally when you would be putting into like a hail or even try and get into the communication radio system. This just feels as if like communication systems have been switched off.
Right. I'll call before we even try to land. I'll call everyone to the galley, and I'll tell Jamie. All right, we don't know what's going on in that station, so I need you to go to the EEV, and you're gonna stay there. And you're not gonna leave that EEV. Do you understand me?
Kind of has that disappointed look and kind of, oh, okay, I guess. And as he's kind of leaving, he kind of stops, looks into one of the store cupboards, picks up a bucket, and starts making his way back towards.
Never mind. You're gonna go to the crew quarters, and you're gonna stay there because there's at least a fucking bathroom there. And you're gonna stay in the crew quarters.
Okay. I can do that. I will stay there and not leave.
And I
are there any
do
other
observation to see if I actually believe him.
okay, but Tavin, are there any emergency pods or anything he should know about in case something goes wrong?
That's the EEV.
Okay,
the
so
emergency
if
evacuation
something
vehicle.
goes wrong, like an explosion on the station, or we don't come back for a week. That's when you go there.
Yes, sure, kid. If the ship's gonna explode, or we don't come back for a week, get in the EEV. You work in a spaceport, you can figure out how to launch it and try and leave. Take as much food with you as you can as well.
It kind of has that look of not quite like enthusiasm where you would get the feeling that he's going to do something stupid, but you get that feeling of he understands, and he gives that kind of just a feeling that he's heard you and he will take it on
Once
board.
once he leaves, I'll say he if that does happen, he's probably just gonna die.
Oh yeah, no, but you gotta give him some hope.
Sure. But we're also in the middle of a space station, or we will be in the middle of a space station. Those EEVs are meant to launch while in vacuum.
Yeah. Oh
There's a
yeah,
good
no, there's no way. But look, there's a
Even if he
chance.
does manage to get out of the space station,
There's nowhere
and
close. But
there's nothing close.
But they don't know that
Hey,
the space station is gone yet. So there's a chance that somebody's coming this way and picks him up if he manages.
fair
to.
enough. Fair enough. All right. I guess I will let both of them know that as far as Tavin can find, he hasn't seen anyone outside the station. He's gotten no hails, nothing.
Yeah.
So
Do we want to land?
we gotta get the cargo, no?
Yeah, we'll
kind
also
of
need
have
to get food.
try.
We'll need to get food. We don't have enough to get back.
Right. So unless we want to resort to cannibalism, I think that we need to at least land and get some supplies.
You know, medically speaking, cannibalism's fine as long as you don't eat them down.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
you
that.
gotta properly cook everything and all that, but ostensibly, with the amount of food left, if we wanted the ship to make it back, then Tavin would be the one who would have to eat. And I'm the one that would go first because you guys don't like the company, but I don't have much meat on me. So then we would have to then kill Joshua because he has more meat. And I doubt that Tavin wants to kill the child. But then, you know how it goes.
Well, we can just use the cryo deck on the way back, Andrea.
We don't need nearly as much food getting back as we did coming here because we didn't use the cryo deck. We still need some food because believe it or not, even if you're frozen, you'll still get hungry when you wake up. But
True.
yeah, we have a cryo deck. We'd be fine. We could probably just make it back now.
Well,
Alright.
do you have proper hydration supplies?
Ship recycler.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you've been drinking your own pee for like 2 weeks now.
Oh no, what I mean is, never mind.
Yes,
I'm gonna go.
we could make it back now. We have cryostasis. We could make it back.
I'm gonna go to my.
But you would be really fucking hungry when we get back.
So we're docking then, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yep.
Chips.
All right.
All
Now,
right.
before
Yep.
we jump in, we are at the 3-hour mark.
Yep. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
So with that, Tavin, you do begin kind of procedures to begin to land, dock, and stuff like that. As the couple of hours kind of pass where you have conversed and you are trying to kind of work out where is you begin your descent into the space station and getting ready, and just at that kind of critical moment as you thing me in, you do receive an alarm in the ship from Martha, and when it comes through, it is now an emergency mayday from Arceon coming through your ship, and that's where we're going to finish tonight's episode.
Yay. Can't hear you, Docs.
Dogs is under a thing.
Sorry, Discord is being bad.
Yeah, it's a good time to kind of finish with that starting. But yes, that is where we're going to finish tonight. Next week, we will be back with episode 3, and we should have we're returning Carrigan Mackenzie. So with that, I would like to thank everybody that has came in to chat, everybody that's watched along, everybody that's hopefully we have given you an enjoyable next episode of this, and we look forward to seeing everybody next week to see what shit show the crew are docking into.
You know, they obviously have an infestation of space ants.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Or it could just be an infestation of a lot of young port hands.
Oh.
Every ship that land had a stowaway port hand, so
We
And
never
they all
know.
left them there.
Feisty teenagers.
That was the evacuation. But yes, thank you everybody for stopping in and watching along our story. We'll be back next week, same time. Wednesday, this VOD will be up on YouTube, and Friday we'll have the highlights video up, so that if you can't go through 2 hours or 3 hours of a show, that'll give you at least the big points. So thank you again, and we shall see you all next week for the next episode of Alien Entrapment. Goodbye, everybody.